Howdy, howdy. Good evening, folks. Good evening. We got one heck of a live and one heck of a guest this evening. As always, we're bringing you the best of the best. That's the way it's going to be. We are always trying to bring you the best of the best. And tonight, we've got one of the best. And I'm very, very excited for it. Already getting some comments in here. What's good, baby? Why do you look different in your video? What do I look different from? All right, here's our boy real quick. Howdy, howdy. You're my dad.
What's
Howdy.
going on, brother?
What's up, B? You look great. How are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm doing my best to stay alive and stay green, my man.
Good.
Yes, sir. Dude, I want to first of all, and we're already getting questions. First of all, I want to thank you so much for conjoining platforms with us this evening, and thank you so much for the time you're going to be spending until about 7 o'clock. I really, really appreciate it. I mean, you've got an incredible platform behind you. You're very transparent. I mean, I cannot stop hearing good things about you, and now I'm fortunate enough to get to speak with you. So that really means a lot to me, and thank you again.
Hey, of course, we're going to give these people an awesome show, a ton of free game, and, you know, there's two of the best in the game here. So I'm excited to give some free game, some teaching, and get this party going. So
yes, sir. Yes, sir. No, I really appreciate that. Very kind of you. And I'm trying to do my best to be the best always, right? I'm hyper competitive with myself. I don't like to compare myself to others. I just compare myself to where I was and where I'm going. So I appreciate that very, very much. I've got a bunch of questions for you. We've got a ton of people in here already, which is just incredible. So I'm going to give myself a little bit of a brief background after you, but if you don't mind just giving a little bit about what it is that you do while you're the animal that you are, then I'm really
stop, you're making me blush.
So they get to know you a little bit better. You're cute when you blush. Go run it.
So, you know, I started trading 5 years ago. I think that's a very important part to my story. And, you know, I started trading because I grew up very poor. I had a single mom. My dad went to prison when I was real young. And, you know, I'd watch YouTube all the time. I'd see these big traders making this huge money. And I thought to myself, like, you know, if these guys can do it, what's stopping me? You know, what's stopping me from learning this? So obviously, you know, like I started watching. And when I say I started trading 5 years ago, it's not like I picked up my computer, picked up my keyboard, and was just full-time day trading, going super hard. Like that wasn't the case. But I started watching some videos, you know, picked up some books, joined some Discords, and you know, slowly but surely I started trading really hardcore, full-time 3 years ago, and you know, it kept going from there. And so, you know, I didn't start really educating, you know, doing this whole social media thing till a year ago. I started out by showing a few friends, and I was making $500, $1,000 a day. So I told them, like, yo, guys, you know, I'm making pretty good money in the stock market. You know, you guys should hop in on this, come learn. And, you know, it just ended up growing and being able to give free game and teach people around the world. And that's where we are now. So,
guys, I want to harp on something about this gentleman. So he said he started educating about a year ago, and now look at the platform that he's been able to create. If you guys ever tell me that a year is too long to do anything, I'm sorry. I'm not interested in the conversation. It is unbelievable what he's been able to do in a year's time. That's unbelievably motivating for myself, and I'm sure for you all as well. So you guys have a little bit of patience, and you might be able to create something even better.
And the thing is, too, it's just like with trading. Like when I started social media, I'm an introvert, right? I like looking at computers. I like numbers. But, like, you know, I had to go and I had to break out of my shell. The same thing with trading. Nothing worth having is going to come easy ever. You know, trading is not an easy thing to do. Social media is not an easy thing to do. So, you know, if you want to make something worth happening, you got to set aside, you know, 6 months, a year, 2 years. You know, a lot of people look through this tiny lens. I want to broaden your lens. You got to look at the big picture, and that goes with day trading, with swing trading, with building a company, with social media, with developing strategies, with anything, right? You know, you can't just build something overnight. You know, it goes brick by brick, stone by stone, and eventually you're going to have a dang big building. So that's how I look at everything. Entrepreneurship, trading, you know, it takes a lot of time, a lot of work. You know, for those of you watching, you have the ability to become a profitable trader, to become a profitable entrepreneur. Maybe you guys hate trading, I don't know. You got to put in the work and you know, make a game plan, write down your goals, and go hard every single day.
I couldn't have said it better myself. I've got the same exact ideology. I'll give just a little bit of background on me because I want to focus on our guest here. because we've got a lot of people on here that probably have no idea who I am, but they definitely know who you are, good sirs. I graduated from high school in 2018. I thought I was going to go into defense contracting and doing cybersecurity software development. I have always been an extrovert, unlike our friend here who's gotten out of his shell and done a great job doing it. I've always been an extrovert. For whatever freaking reason, I love talking all the time. Why I guess OBR has got me in this spot. So I've always been an extrovert, and I was always with introverts, with software development, anything analytically based that I was doing. And I went to college for it. I went to college for Army ROTC, for lacrosse, and cybersecurity. I was doing independent study in cybersecurity, information systems, and I dropped out of college after 1 year. I worked 80 to 100 hours a week for the next 2 years in cybersecurity. I did corporate finance. I did personal protection. I did armed security for 4 different companies at once. I did a lot, and the only constant through all of that was the stock market for me. First 2 years of my trading, I was a day trader, scalper, swing trader, primarily the first 2, and couldn't control myself whatsoever. This gentleman's figured it out, but I couldn't do it. I couldn't control my emotions. I could not handle. I was just unstable, and I am not unstable as an individual in person, but the market gave me emotional swings that I just didn't feel like dealing with, and it was giving me chest pains and shit. So forget that. So I just couldn't deal with it. So this about 6 months ago, I completely revamped everything. I've got a very accurate and deployable strategy for long-term trading, and I utilize leverage with the major holdings of SPY, QQQ, credit spreads, long calls, etc. I leverage them far out in expiration. I look for about 10 to 15 to 20 to 30% on those trades. I'm very consistent. Well, I've gotten to a point where I'm very consistent, and now it's just about learning and getting in front of people who can teach me quite a bit more than I feel like I may or may not know. I don't think I really know anything. So now back onto this, gentleman. You have a little bit about me. So we've gotten, this is one of the first lives where I've gotten multiple requests to ask him this. And the first question that I got was from somebody very close to me, a very intelligent individual. He asked me about your daily routine, plain and simple. He wanted to know what you do when you wake up, what you do with the market, what are you looking at pre-market, what are you doing after hours, how do you prepare yourself for your day trading?
So I'm very, very routine oriented, right? And if you're an entrepreneur, if you're going to be an aspiring, day trader, swing trader, whatever it is, your routine is your life. Almost all millionaires have the same routine. They wake up early, they grind, they go to bed early, they repeat every single day, right? You don't see many millionaires that don't have a set routine. So that being said, I'm the same way. I wake up 5 a.m., 5:15 a.m. every single day. I'm never up. If I'm still in bed at 5:30 a.m., there's a serious problem, right? That doesn't happen even on Saturdays or Sundays. So up at 5 a.m., I get up. I usually meditate for 5 or 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be long. Sit there, collect your thoughts, get calm. Set the tone for the day, write down your goals, whatever it may be. So I get up, I meditate. I always shower every single morning. And one of the keys to building discipline, I know y'all are going to call me crazy, but cold showers every single day. Now, you don't have to hop in. Obviously, it's 5 in the morning. You don't got to just turn ice cold. All right, time to hop in and, turn my nips into scissors, But get in. I'm trying to keep my language PG. But, get in, turn it hot, and slowly turn it cold. I promise you that will wake you up for the day. It's 5:30 a.m. After that, I'm up. I'm ready. I'm rocking. So, 5:30 a.m., I've meditated. I've gotten up. I've taken a cold shower. Next, I go downstairs. And I used to drink coffee. Not so much anymore. Typically 16 ounces of water. I go, get my water. I'm down in this computer, and I am rocking. I'm going through. And to give you guys some real value, right? I'll show you. I go on every day, and I go to here. I go to my S&P 500, right? NASDAQ 100. I go, and I quite literally scan through all the stocks I like to watch. I'll go here, 1 year, 1 day chart. All right, I got that clicked. I'll go look for all the supply and demand, support and resistance, click through, see what I like, see what I don't like. And, that's a big part of my day. I make my watch list for the day. I go into every single day prepared. And, that's super key. Whether you're day trading or swing trading, you need to be prepared. You need to have a trade plan, with every trade you take. And, winning your morning and starting that off right is the first step to it. So, I do that every morning. Obviously, market opens at 7:30 Colorado time. So, I get on my voice chat every morning at 7 a.m., trading from 7:30 to 8:30 or 9. Typically the first hour, hour and a half, that's when the most liquidity is for day trading. After that, I go to the gym. Very, very consistent on going to the gym. I work out 6 days a week. Try to do cardio 5 to 6 days a week. I take yeah, so that's a big thing in my trading too. Go to the gym, come back, trade for power hour, 1 to 2, Colorado time, mountain time. And the rest of the day I make content, grind. I'm typically working from 6 a.m. to 9 or 10 p.m. every day. So when I'm not working out or eating, I'm working. And that's how I rock.
So how detrimental is removing yourself from that schedule, whether accidentally or intentionally?
I mean, I try to have a little bit of a life outside of all this. You got to take care of your mental health, obviously, but growing up, again, I'm not trying to throw a pity party, but I grew up very poor. Like I went to Lincoln East High School and I had less money than everyone around me. We always had the smallest house, the worst car, and that just like engraved in my brain. I was like, when I'm older, I'm going to be a rich MF. Like I'm going for it. It's like to this day, like even having a decent amount of money, like I love the grind. That's why I work 10, 15 hours a day, and it's just like it's what keeps me going. So when you ask how detrimental it is to get off that schedule, I mean a little bit, but it doesn't happen super often. So at least I try not to let it happen. And if I do, I pick back up, write down my goals, and get back on the horse. So
I think that's excellent, and you shared so much there. So there's a lot to unpack. So we'll go over to your screening time in regards to entries for you. What are some of the things that are just green, gotta go? This is the primary opportunity for me. How do you determine that in pre-market? What are you looking for specifically?
So it depends. I keep my trading very simple, right? Levels of supply and demand, support and resistance. So let's say, Tesla's been touching this 800 level, the past, 2 weeks, right? We touch it, we go a little over, sellers bring it back down. We go a little over, sellers bring it back down. So I look for those levels that are key that we've been exhausting sellers. Because you got to think, if there's a level you've been watching on a stock, when we touch it once, twice, 3 times, whatever it is, each time there's less and less sellers. So when we get to that level again, if you're watching level 2, which is the tape, and you see that buyers are coming in, we're going to have less sellers. Obviously we've exhausted a lot of them the previous touches there. If I see that volume coming in, buyers coming in on level 2, that's going to be a good inclination that I want to buy in. I want to join the move. I want to get in for a scalp or a day trade, whatever it may be.
That's excellent. Can you better explain the levels that you're looking at for some of the viewers that don't understand that?
Yeah. So I guess let me see if I can find something here. Right. So for example, let's go to here. Let's go to Tesla. Now today, I bought Tesla on a dip today. I can explain that trade if you'd like me to. But so as you can see here, let's go to the daily chart. We've been looking at Tesla and we've been touching this 800 level the past 2 weeks. We went up, almost touched once, rejected down. Went over here. Obviously, we broke here almost 810, rejected down. Went over here, rejected down. So we're clearing out sellers every single time we come here, right? So watching this again, there's a good chance that a stock like this, right, when we go over the 800 level, but exhausting sellers, even here again, pre-market, exhausting sellers around 800 every single time. When we get to that level, when we have volume come in, which we see here, let me pull this up. Let me add my volume indicator, volume AVG, right? We see this big bar of volume coming in, as well as the level 2. If you're watching, you'd be seeing the level 2 buyers come in. There's a good inclination the stock's going to rocket. So we see here, we boom, get that volume coming in, hit that level, we have a massive move up. So that's just one, I guess, example on a short notice that you got to watch volume and level 2. If you're going to day trade, those are your best friends. There's a million, and we talked about this before. There's a million different people with a million different strategies that will quote unquote make you rich quick. It's all cap. If I had a baseball cap, I'd put it on right now, and I'd say that's what those people are doing. It's all got to keep it simple. Use your few SMAs, EMAs, whatever they are. Watch volume, watch price action, watch level 2. That's the key to day trading.
So that's, first of all, that's incredible, and I hope people were listening to that, because that's incredibly important for day traders, and I agree with you wholeheartedly. My favorite thing in the world when I was day trading was volume. I tried not to overcomplicate my trading, and now as a long-term trader, I don't really use a whole lot of technicals other than supports and resistances on much higher time frames. So, which is providing me the ability to be way more strict with my entries. I know I'm not going to touch Tesla for another $40 or $50 down to the downside, because eventually I'm probably going to see it, and then I'll get in, and then I'll be fine, and then I have no problem going 6 months out. So that's so incredibly important. Now, a big question for you, because I've gotten this question a lot, and I'd love to hear what you have to say about it. When you became consistent with your day trading, what was the threshold that you had to get through? What was and it was probably not an aha moment. It was probably over multiple months. Do you remember what that threshold looked like when you finally became consistent? You said, hey, oh my goodness, I'm looking back at the last 6 months. I've been green every single month, and to a nice degree.
I mean, honestly, it's your psychology, right? And while we're on that, I have a book here. I want to show you guys while we're on this. Your trading psychology is what's going to make you or break you as a long-term trader, as a day trader. And specifically with my aha moment with day trading, it was it was finding my psychology, finding my edge, and finding my position sizing. So this book, Trading on the Zone by Mark Douglas, great YouTuber, has a ton of solid trading psychology stuff on YouTube. Great book, taught me a lot. And the reason I say that is, for example, again, let's say we're trading Tesla over 800. I'm just going to use this example we were talking about earlier. This is our level 800, right? If you go in with a huge position right here, you're confident in the position for a day trade, and you go in with a huge position right here, and it goes down 50 cents, right? If you're in too big, you're going to panic. Your heart's going to start pumping. Your hands are going to start sweating. Your armpits are going to start sweating, and you're going to sell out of emotion. Boom. You're going to get out. You're going to freak out. It's going to go down a little more and probably rip up. Now, if you lower your position size, right? If you're in a position that you can manage with no emotion, you're going to see that little bounce and say, okay, you know what? It's still in my trading plan. If it goes down further, it's not going to exponentially hurt my account. And you're going to be able to handle that little bit of drawdown for your trade to pan out. I mean, most trades aren't going to have zero red, right? But 10, 20, 30, 40 cents of red shouldn't absolutely crush your trading rationale. So if you're in too big that your heart starts pumping when you go down 5 cents, that's a problem. If you're in too big that your hands start sweating when you even think about red, that's a problem. So, in the end, what helped me and what really solidified my trading and made me a lot of money in the stock market was mastering my psychology, figuring out what I could risk for position size, and, trading based off that. I always say smaller positions equal more money over time. And that doesn't really make sense to a lot of new traders, but if you can manage your positions and win small, wouldn't you rather make $5 to $10 than lose the 20 or 30 you are right now? That's how I think about it.
I think that's excellent, and that's something that I'm still trying to learn myself. My strategies are trading. I'm trying to be adaptable, and my strategies are changing. Excuse me, and I'm trying to adapt the best I can. And then if I do well, my numbers change, right? And then I have different allocations, and then I have to make my percentages a little bit different. And the percentages are based on hey, I now have exponentially more. So I am unquestionably fine now with 10% return on this trade, rather than before I was looking for 30, right? So that's things that we have to that's things that we have to adjust and we have to understand, and you guys have to be adaptable, right? The market is not going to do the same thing over and over and over again. If your strategy is based on one particular movement that you feel like you're going to see over and over and over again in the market's going to do some nasty things to you, and you're not going to like it. So the biggest thing that I've gotten from this gentleman, and that I also agree with, is be adaptable, right? If you find something that works, that's excellent, but it should be comprehensive. Because if the market does one thing and you had a feeling that you knew that everything was squared away, you covered all your bases, and then the market did something you were not even close to calculated for, you got to be able to respond accordingly, and you need to be prepared for it. So you can't let your emotions take over. You have to have a system in place.
They say only the strong survive. I disagree. I think the adaptable survive in trading and in life.
Well, I say the adaptable are the strong. So
Mac,
I agree.
I'm with both. You already know.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. So in regards to your trading, so you are day trading, you are scalping, and for individual. There's a couple things that you said that you trade. Are you looking across the board? Do you have a watch list laid out for multiple different securities, ETFs? Are the things you prefer?
So yeah, I make a watch list for myself every morning. And if I'm trading an ETF, I like to trade SPY. I love watching for ABCDs in SPY, for orbs, all different strategies. And if I'm day trading an ETF, it's going to be SPY. You know, I like how the contracts on there for a lot of smaller traders, you know, people that are learning, are affordable. They move cleanly. And you know, if you learn how to trade SPY, I never use the word easy. I told you this before too. But you can more simply make, you know, $5, $10, $15 a day trading an ETF that options move smoothly rather than trying to YOLO Tesla or any of those big names. So I'll trade SPY sometimes. I like to trade Tesla. I like to trade you know, NVIDIA, Roku, all the high cap beta, and you know, all those types of names. But you know, I'll trade stocks like Twitter, you know, Neo, sometimes AMD. It's on my not so nice list, but I'll trade it once in a while. And I typically stay away from penny stocks. I'm not really a penny stock trader. It's just not my thing. And yeah, that's basically how I rock.
Well, I'm in just about the exact same boat, guys. For me as a long-term trader, there's nothing that outperforms on a annual basis than me trading leveraged ETFs, or me leveraging into ETFs. And that means SPY, QQQ, XLF. And believe it or not, I have a lot of freaking fun trading Vanguard ETFs, which some of you guys won't touch with a 40-foot pole for whatever reason. And these Vanguard ETFs, if you look at the charts for the past 5 years or so, the general direction's up. There's some incremental volatility, and yes, there was a COVID drop, but there's some incremental volatility, and the direction is usually very constant. For NVIDIA, for example, that thing's been mooning forever, right? But AMD gets super choppy. Is AMD still a great stock, in my opinion? Unquestionably. But for me, with long-term trading, I have a pretty good feeling that if SPY has a 10% correction and I'm legging in appropriately and SPY retraces over the next 3 or 4 months, hopefully, right? And I have a strategy to get out of that appropriately. But if you guys had to tell me, if the whole market corrected right now, what would you think would be the first thing that would return back to previous highs? Jada, what do you think?
SPY, baby. BTD. Buy the dip.
There you go. I agree with him wholeheartedly, guys. And, you know, there's a lot of people that will just spray around the phrase "buy the dip," right? But you guys got to understand there's obviously a method to our madness.
You got to scale into the dip. Dollar cost average into the dip.
Not
go YOLO all into the dip.
I agree wholeheartedly. Guys, you also have to understand that if you've been watching SPY in September, you'll realize that we've had gaps down, an insane, unnecessary gap up, and then another gap down, or except a lot of chop. And if you guys YOLO'd in on the first $10 drop in SPY, you got your whole position in there, and if it's naked calls, Theta's tearing you guys up, right? And that's no fun. We don't like that. If it's equity, you're fine. If it's a long-term position, maybe Theta benefits you with credit spreads, or you're not worried about the Theta necessarily, then maybe you're okay. But one of the best lessons I've ever been taught personally is dollar cost averaging.
Facts.
So, and that can turn all your financial advisors' 7% that they guarantee you into 20 or 30 annually just by buying larger 10%, well, I would say 6 to 10% dips, having some cash on the sidelines. I'm usually 30% cash. I don't know where you stand.
I mean, I go pretty hard day trading. You know, I keep all my, here's another thing too, is when I'm swing trading, I keep all of my different types of trades in different accounts, right? I trade on portfolio margin, on Lightspeed and TD Ameritrade. For those that don't know what portfolio margin is, it's pretty much like 7 times leverage. So you have a lot of leverage, and I use that when I day trade on Lightspeed. So if I'm swing trading, I'm typically in TD Ameritrade. If I'm long terming, you know, I have a brokerage account with my financial advisor. I also have a Webull account, a Robinhood account. Don't slay me. You know, I keep all my trades separate. And I think that helps too. You know, if I was day trading and swing trading in the same account, right? The problem with that is that if you're looking at your swing trades constantly, it's going to be tough to stomach that and see red on trades that you have high conviction in going long term. This is kind of side note, but people keep asking what those books were. Here in a few minutes, we're going to go over some nice books. That's right with Clayton. Got a group of them for you. And I'll go over the book that we went over before and some other good ones I think that can help you in other aspects of day trading. So no fear, that's coming. We didn't forget about you. But
go ahead. Sorry.
You know, it depends. You know, I'll use 70-80% of my buying power in a day, of my account size, but I would never just be all in, all cash, overnight or, you know, at any given moment. So I think the biggest position I've ever taken was around like 1.2, 1.3 mil. So I don't typically go all in on my day trading account, but there's been times that I've went, you know, full bar,
Well,
$1 million position.
okay.
Crazy.
Hey, man, that means your stomach's pretty bulletproof for the most part. So
I probably won't have hair in 2 or 3 years, but I'll be able to buy fake hair with the gains, right?
your receding hairlines won't matter, dude. You can do what Elon Musk did. Transplant it. You'll look great. No, you'll be gorgeous. So I'd love to go over those books, but I just want to cover what it is that you said. You've provided such an unbelievable amount of information. Guys, he's given so many different increments to such an incredible overall trading strategy. And not only are we talking about one particular strategy, but we're talking about rules of the trade, ways that we can sharpen that learning curve a little bit, bring it down, lessen it for you all, so that hopefully there's just things that you can pick, write about, reflect, note, that are going to help you guys proceed as traders, become more consistent, and trust yourself. And another thing that you said that lit me up was that you said it's very difficult to look at some of these swing trades that you have very high conviction on when it's all red. In general, I am all long-term trades. So when I'm legging in and I'm seeing, you know, large swings in the market when the market's down, goodness, my stomach's turning. It's the way it is. But I've got conviction. The reason why I got everything. So you guys just got to be able to handle that, right? And
Facts.
I'd love to hear about these books. I'm sure as much as everybody else does.
Facts.
So did I break up a little bit?
Yeah. So I'm not sure what you said, but did you hear if I go over these books real quick?
Yeah, that's
what we're asking.
Yeah.
So this is the first book we talked about. Clayton and I were talking about Trading the Zone. Great trading psychology book. One of the best trading psychologists / speakers I know. Him, Brett Steenbarger, Mike Bellafiore are all good. Any of their books are phenomenal, but this is always the go-to book I tell people about. Obviously, a very simple book for beginners, technical analysis for dummies, teach you all the basics, bar charts, candlesticks, a lot of good, just basic stuff. It's a nice thing to flip through while you're reading these other books. So technical analysis for dummies, definitely got to hop on that. One of the first trading books I ever read, and something that I credit making me a lot of money over the years, How to Day Trade for a Living by Andrew Aziz. This is a very nice beginner-friendly book. Amazing overall info in here. Day trading, swing trading stuff, psychology stuff, and overall it's a must-read for any aspiring day trader. And then finally, one of my favorite books too is a Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. This book will teach you how to measure volume with candlesticks, you know, measure for false breakouts, read volume, and it's just a must-read if you want to make money long-term trading in the stock market, in my opinion, especially if you're day trading. So I just wanted to share with you my 4 favorite books. I think there'll be a lot of value to you. They're fairly cheap, and, you know, a $10 book here and there can end up being a $100,000 win years down the road. So invest now, just like long-term, and reap the rewards later.
There you go. That's an incredible perspective. And thank you so much for sharing the books. I really appreciate that. I'm sure our viewers are going to get a lot of value out of that. I mean, other than the books, you've already provided a tremendous amount of value, which I could not be more appreciative of. We're coming right around to the time. If you'd like to, we can take a couple of questions here. But we've got so many people in here, we're probably going to get overloaded now that I'm opening up questions. But we can
sure, you know, I'm gonna, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna turn around and look at charts. So we're good, bro.
Okay.
Just as many questions you want to take, let's get it rocking. Let me know.
All right. Well, folks, ask a couple of good questions, and we'll pick a few before we hop off here. You get to pick the brain of the brightest. I was not talking about myself here. So,
all right, the last book is Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. There's been a lot of you that have asked a Complete Guide to Volume Price Analysis by Anna Cooling. So, sorry, there's so much people asking, but you pick the questions and I'll answer. We can answer.
Well, we're getting some good questions from some good people. You know, we're just that cute because we are just that cute. That's the way it's going to be. So, GD, what's up, baby?
What moving averages do you use for trading? Cool. We answer that one?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
So when I'm day trading, right, I keep it very, very simple. Show you here. This is on my TD. I mainly day trade on light speed, but I have these setups on TD as well. So for my simple day trading set, right? It's literally called simple day trading for a reason. I use the VWAP, VWAP volume weighted average price, the 8-day EMA, and the 21 MA. Obviously, I have volume on here as well, but I keep it very, very simple. And the reason for that is that if you get too much stuff going on, right? If you have MACD, stochastics, 18,000 different indicators, it's not going to end up doing you any good. You're going to get confused. You're going to get overwhelmed. You're going to look at it, and you're going to get anxiety. And, you just got to stick to what works. For me, bounces off the VWAP and the 8-day EMA on the 5-minute chart, the 1-minute chart, work out. That's what works for me. And that's what I like. Obviously, Clayton might have a different strategy, but as far as day trading, that's what I rock with. So.
Well, for me, with moving averages, I used to use them a lot. And now I only use the much higher time frame moving averages. So I really only look at the 100-day, 200-day. And I'm not as technical as I used to be. I like to look at company fundamentals. I like to look at higher time frames to see just how far an incredible company could fall or how far it has fallen and what my price targets are moving forward in correlation to the banks, in correlation to where the stock's previously been. Guys, I'm sorry, I don't have near as much money in the stock market and in individual securities that banks do. So that means I don't have near as much riding on the line as they do. And they're the ones who create the real volume. So that's what I do look at. I do look at intraday volume in regards to a very large increase in volume for underlying securities, ETFs, etc. And I try to see if that's correlated to any news, if there's any catalysts that are moving the market. And yes, every now and then indicators will show that there is a catalyst that is moving the market, and that's what I look for. And I'm long term, so I'm not really focusing on the VWAP as much, not really looking at my EMAs as much. I'm drawing more channels on longer term, and I'm trying to see what's trading within channels, when it breaks, what is it breaking to, what's the percentage dip in correlation to previous dips in the past. So that's my spiel. If you want to take another question or two, you're more than
I was going to say too, I assume you use simple moving averages more so than not for your swing trading. And someone was asking what I mean by MA. I said MA is in reference to moving average. When I'm day trading, I only use exponential moving averages as they have more emphasis on closer days. Now with simple moving averages, as obviously Clayton knows, it averages the amount of days you choose equally over time. Whereas an exponential moving average puts more weight and emphasis on recent days. That's why they're used more in day trading. So I just wanted to clear that up for those who were asking. But next question.
No,
you choose.
No, just to add just a little bit to that. And guys, I use the EMA for the majority of my, I want to get as best of an entry as possible. So that's short term. And I want to get as best of an exit as possible, unless I'm right at a price target or right at a profit percentage return that I'm taking it off regardless. So a little bit of that is just human intuition. And then the rest of it is all, hey, I'm at 50% on this leg. I'm out. I don't give a shit what the EMAs are saying. I don't care. So, and I stick to my discipline that way. And that's one of the only things I've got that's relatively consistent for me is my discipline. And sometimes, unfortunately, I throw it out the window, because I am no robot, unfortunately, although I really am doing my best to be one. So if there's what's in the shaker bottle, that's a good question. A little something different.
Water. I don't drink pop or soda, whatever you guys call it in your jurisdiction. Water only, and then that's how I rock. Good old H2O.
Good. Whiskey and ice. I'm just kidding. This is water too. So, all right. Well, that's a good off-topic question. JD, what confirmations do you look for to enter a day trade?
To keep it simply, I watch level 2. So again, if you're using TD Ameritrade, I always, and if you're day trading, you have to be watching level 2. I watch the ask and the bid on level 2. I'll sometimes watch the time and sales. I mostly like the level 2, but time and sales is important. Then I watch price action. I watch how the candlesticks are moving. I correlate volume with candlesticks, and that's and put very simply in 20 seconds, that's what I watch, and that's how I trade. Those are the main things. You can look at 8 million again indicators, but I watch level 2. And people ask me, they're like, Jadon, how can I learn level 2? And the best advice I have for them is this, right? Every morning, watch your favorite traders, watch yourself, make a watch list, And when your stock gets to that particular level, right, instead of trading it while you're learning, just sit there, watch the stock, and watch how the level 2 reacts. Because I promise you, once we get, like, for example, if Tesla has a major level at 800, right, once we get to that 800, this ask is going to shoot up. So this ask will go from, let's say, 4 to 400. You know, that means there's 40,000 shares of Tesla available at said price. So when we get there, if this ask starts ripping down quickly, that means buyers are eating it up. And there's a good chance if we eat that quickly, if we keep moving up, if we have good volume, we're going to make that next leg up. And I mean, it's obviously there's more to it than that, but that's as simply as I can put it in, you know, a short live. But watch this level 2. You know, watch the stock you're watching, watch the level, watch how the level 2 reacts, watch how the time and sales reacts. And after that, write that down, write what you learn, and keep a trading journal. Keep keep notes and learn every single day you're watching. That's the key.
Got one more final question. If you had to start from zero again, I think that might be a good question.
If I had to start from zero again?
Yes, sir.
I mean, I've done this before. I grew up poor, so I'll tell you what I did and what I would do again. I would start by getting a job that I could make more than minimum wage. You know, I'd be serving tables. I did that. I'd be, doing side hustles on the side. I would work from, probably like 10 to like 5. I'd find a job where I could look at the stock market the first hour or two of the day. I would go work and save, and after that, I would go read, just like I did before. And I would find jobs, again, I can't emphasize this enough, that I could work and not just, be for a straight salary wage, right? Or for a, $12 an hour wage. Or, if I had to start from zero and it wasn't trading, I would go into like plumbing or HVAC or something with a skill, content creation, that I might have to bite the bullet and make less at the start, but I can learn that skill, start a business over time that I can, become the owner of and, work my way up the ladder. I'm never going to stay stagnant. The second you accept complacency as stagnancy is the day your dreams die. Not how we rock. So that's what I would do. I would find a skill or a job I could be more than minimum wage. I could kind of choose my outcome, and I would build on that with a plan to get out of that and to make that next leg up later on.
Well, that's
what I would do.
I love it. I love it, and that's incredible. And you're giving all the right answers to all the right questions. I think that's incredible. So I want to thank you again for your time and all that you've been kind enough to share and how transparent you are with everything. And I knew that coming on, so I love it so much. And I've learned an incredible amount just about an hour or so with you in time. So we're going to have more conversations in the future. I know for a fact you and I probably have another list of topics that we could cover that would be beneficial.
For sure. So to make it a routine thing.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I'm all for it. So if there's anything else you'd like to leave us with, I'd appreciate hearing it. If not,
these guys at OBR are amazing. I appreciate you having me on again, Clayton. You guys are all a fantastic group of individuals, doing good for people. And I am honored to be associated with you guys. So thank you for having me on again. You guys are goats. And keep doing the people's and God's work.
You do the same, and I know you're doing the same. And thank you so much for that. I appreciate it. All the same to you as well. I mean, you're an incredible individual. I've thoroughly enjoyed speaking with you, and you've provided so much applicable information to both of our platforms, and I'm sure everybody loved it. You got more compliments in this live than I think I've gotten in my entire life. So love to hear it. Everybody loved having you, and I did as well. So thank you again so much.
Right back at you, bro. Have a great rest of your night, and catch some green this week, all right?
I'm going to do my best. It depends on what comes out of J-Pal's mouth, but we'll see.
All right, bro. 10-4.
Yes,
Have
sir.
a good one,
Take
everybody.
it easy.
Yeah, see you, bro.
Night, guys.